Hi students, and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian and I'm streaming to you from beautiful Victoria here in Western Canada. I hope that all of you are having a superb weekend so far. Welcome Chayan Kip. Welcome to our members. Hi Shiso, Sangeeta, Fuong, Jagroup, Karan. Nice to see many students in the class. Students, we are looking at IELTS speaking part 3 in this class. Specifically, this speaking part 3 is continuing from the topic of part 2 that we were just discussing, which is pollution. And in this case, we will also be talking about solutions. So, speaking part 3, pollution and solution. In the environment is a hot topic for the IELTS exam, so definitely pay attention. Lots of good vocabulary and practice for your IELTS speaking in this class. This lesson is presented to you by aehelp.com for academic IELTS success. Visit us there. For the general IELTS, visit us at gieltshelp.com. Those websites have tons of information to help you improve for your next IELTS exam. This is aehelp.com here. You click that big red button that's just right on top of my head. It's a one-time payment for lifetime access. I'm a British Council agent. We are IDP affiliates, British Council partners, and an IELTS test registration center. So you are in excellent hands with us. For the general IELTS, it's gieltshelp.com. Again, just click that big red button on top of my head. It's a one-time payment for lifetime access. So you get to use it as long as you need to get that high band score. And you can use this code TARGET9 for a 20% discount on the websites. TARGET9, 20% discount. So when you check out, click use coupon code. And then apps, yeah, we got them. Academic IELTS Help in your app store, general IELTS Help in your app store. Okay. Justveer, British Council. So Justveer is asking, when will British Council start in India again? Probably never. IDP bought all of the IELTS test centers from British Council. 140 million pounds. Okay, students, Instagram, IELTS_AE help. And GIELTS Help, that's where we post videos and schedules. So follow us on Instagram. And if you have a question, send me an email. My email is adrian@aehelp.com. Now, we've got this class, and then we just released a new video. We got a little bit of a break after this class for Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And then next live class after this one will be on the 5th. Let me move that down a bit. Will be on the 5th of September, which will be Thursday, I believe. Or no, that can't be right. I'm out to lunch. That can't be right. It's going to be the 8th. Let me fix that up. So that'll be the 8th, and then the 9th, and then the 10th. Out to lunch means crazy, by the way. It's an expression. Some people, what do you mean he's out to lunch? Is he getting some food? No, out to lunch means not thinking well. It's an expression. Out to lunch. If you caught me saying that, it means crazy, not thinking right. Okay. Now I'm back, so no longer am I out to lunch. Next week, students, so not this Sunday, but next Sunday, we will also have a light hall class that's on a new and exciting platform for live classes, live learning. So here we go. there. Light Hall class, you can sign up for that. It's free. It's awesome. It's in the chat. Also, check out our newest video on YouTube. It's also free. It's also awesome. There's a special little surprise there for people in India from Cambly in that video. We've got a special little treat for you there. So check out that new speaking video. And now let's get into IELTS speaking part 3. So we just finished speaking part 2 cue card class. That was about pollution. If you were in that class, let me make this a little bit tinier. There we go. If you were in that class, in that last class, you should know what the topic was. So anybody in the chat, what were we just talking about? This was suggested to us by Umra from Azerbaijan. And we talked about this. Of course, you'll remember it was something related to pollution. Fuang Khan says it was the Kura River. The polluted Kura River in Azerbaijan. That's right. Now, the reason why this is important is because for part 3 speaking in the IELTS, you need to think about connecting your part 2 with your part 3. Connect those together. Okay, so part 2 connects to part 3. I just made that up. That's really cool. Yeah, so part 2 connects to part 3. So use the information to connect your answers in part 3. You'll get a higher band score. Let me show you what I mean, okay? So the examiner says that is the end of part 2. Now we will begin part 3. For this part, I will ask you some more questions related to the topic of part 2. Let's talk about pollution. All right, so first question. What are the different types of pollution that can commonly be observed in society? Well, other than water pollution, like the Kura River, there is also air pollution and land pollution. Some big cities like Los Angeles has a very low air quality because of all the vehicle traffic. Okay, so now here the important point that I'm showing you is the connection here, like the Kura River, right? So I'm telling the examiner, like, hey, it's me, it's Adrian Umra. I'm being original and I am making connections. So I'm having a conversation with you. I'm not just freaking out and coming up with all kinds of different ideas, okay? So it's connected, we're talking, all right? Okay, so see how I did that? So you connect part 2 to part 3, okay? Now, the other big tip, right, is when you're thinking about part 3 answers, sometimes as candidates, they complain. They say, Adrian, I sometimes I don't know what to say. I don't know the answer. I don't think about these kinds of questions like pollution. I don't think about Who thinks about pollution? Who cares, right? I care. Pollution is terrible. No, but you get what I'm saying, right? So, you know, sometimes you feel like these aren't related to your knowledge base, okay? So keep this in mind, students. IELTS questions are designed for everybody. So you should be able to answer. Keep your thoughts simple. Remember what you learned in school. So you're probably like, I have to remember what I learned in school. Yeah. Remember what you learned in school. like what I just said, right? But of course, to do that, you have to stay calm and confident, right? So air pollution, air, water, and land pollution. Everybody learned about that at some point in school, right? Hopefully. Okay. So keep your thoughts simple. Think about those big ideas that are common to people around the world, okay? So think of big ideas and information that are common to all people around the world, okay? So think about that, all right? Does that make sense? Okay. Chayan Kip says, it's social science subject since elementary school. Exactly, Chayan Kip. So you shouldn't be saying like, I don't know if there's different kinds of pollution. There's like plastic straws, right? Okay, good. So make those connections, all right? That's what we want. You want answer, explanation, example, connection. That's what you want. Answer plus explanation plus example and connection, right? That's what you need. All right, Baljit says, thumbs up. Yes, it does. All right. Preet says, huh? What? Information in school? What you talk about, Willis? All right, so let's do this. Students, just repeat after me. Let's talk about pollution. What are the different types of pollution that can be commonly observed in society? Well, other than water pollution, like the Kura River, there's also air pollution and land pollution. Some big cities like Los Angeles have very low air quality because of all the vehicle traffic. Now, students, if you can do it without reading, do it without reading. So repeat without reading if you can. Okay? If you can't, then fine. Cheat a little bit, read a little bit. All right? Which of these is the most harmful and why? Here's my answer. You can give me answers too. We're going to practice speaking with each other in just a moment, okay? The most dangerous for people is probably air pollution because humans die within a few minutes if they do not have fresh air. If we die because of bad air, does anybody know what that's called? Does anybody know what that's called if we're like, and then we die? There's a special word for that where we can't breathe and we die. You can use the word choke, but there's a better one. So Anirban says choke. Yeah, choke is okay, but there's a better one. I can't even spell it. It's such a tricky word. I believe it's like that, okay? It's asphyxiation. There's a nice high-level word for you. Yeah, Majaya says asphyxiate. It's pronounced asphyxiation. This is an F sound, so repeat that after me. Asphyxiation. Asphyxiation is when it's a word that's specific to choking because of lack of air. So choking, you can choke on food, you can choke from water, but if we can't get air, fresh air into our bodies, it's called asphyxiation, okay? So the most dangerous for people is probably air pollution, because humans die within a few minutes if they do not have fresh air from asphyxiation. I know that this has been reported in some major cities like Beijing. Just making it up. I don't know if that's true, but anyway, it's an example. Calvin Yu says, let's see what Calvin says. Calvin, you're kind of on the same track as me, which is great. Calvin Yu in the chat has a good answer for us today. And again, you can repeat this. So Calvin says, air pollution causes the most profound effect, as we cannot prevent ourselves breathing in the air surrounding us. We are easily exposed to airborne illness as a result. Yeah, from breathing in the air around us. Yeah. And then Calvin, if you want to get that band 9, throw in an example. When I was in downtown Bangkok, I could hardly breathe. Okay. Yeah. Good. Breathe, not breath. Difference is that E on the end. So air pollution causes the most profound effect, as we cannot prevent ourselves from breathing in the air surrounding us. We are easily exposed to airborne illness as a result. When I was in downtown Bangkok, I could hardly breathe. Band 9. Answer, explain, example. Okay. That's how it's done. Okay, students, next question. Why has pollution become a much more serious concern these days than a couple hundred years ago? Give me a nice full sentence answer for that one. So why has pollution become a much more serious concern these days than a couple hundred years ago? Okay, so the reason that pollution is a lot more concerning than a few centuries ago is because it is a lot more prevalent. People now have a sense of extinction as a result of pollution. They are getting ill more often, and they frequently see garbage in their surroundings. Now, I can do something here. I can add something here to make my answer even better. What can I do? What can I add at the end here to make my answer better? Make it a band 8 to a band 9. So, what should I do? What should I add? Hi, Eugen. Love the emojis. Cat and panda never gets old. Nurlita says example. Yes, Nurlita. What example? What example should I include there? Not survey, group. Don't sound like a robot or a template, right? Nurlita says our experience. Sure, Nurlita. What experience? So specifically, yes, you're right. I can add an example. What example? So what can I add from my experience here to make it really good, to make it a band 9? Harriet says example. Romalia says, given that technology has been taking over, this is a double-edged sword and rise our footprint as well as making, it's confusing, Romalia, rethink it. Calvin says the cause of pollution. Okay. There we go, Amra. Very good. Amra says, how about the example from speaking part 2? Yes, absolutely. Somebody remembered. This is my big point at the start of the lesson today, right? Is that in part 2, we were talking about the Kura River in Azerbaijan, and we want to use that in part 3 to make that strong connection, okay? That will make that bond in our communication to get that band 9. So here, my answer is the reason that pollution is a lot more concerning than a few centuries ago is that it is a lot more prevalent. Prevalent means you can often see it. Prevalent. Repeat me. Prevalent. People now have a sense of extinction as a result of pollution. They are getting ill more often and they frequently see garbage in their surroundings. The refuse, remember that word from part 2? The refuse around Kura River has become a major problem for people in Azerbaijan. But my great-grandpa never even thought about this, right? So remember the question, much more serious concern than a couple hundred years ago, right? Our great-grandfather or great-great-grandfather, they didn't worry too much about it. There's a river. It's blue. It's good. You can drink it. Drink the water. Okay, so students, part 3 questions. Here are the other questions. We're going to practice these together. Just repeat the questions. I want you to repeat these so you start thinking about these. And then we will go through these questions. You will hear these. I will ask you these. I will contact our viewers. How can the problem of pollution be stopped? Just read it, repeat it. How can the problem of pollution be stopped? Some people say that we do not inherit the earth from our parents, but we borrow it from our children. Do you agree with this statement? Why or why not? Let's talk about saving the environment. What kinds of technology have been developed to help restore the health of the environment? Which of these should be paid the most attention to for the betterment of Earth? How can people be encouraged further to recycle more and not just carelessly throw away plastics and paper? Cool. Awesome. Let's answer these, students. So there's a way to do it by volunteering. It makes it more fun. Funner. So how to volunteer? First, to volunteer for speaking, go to aehelp.com. We've got lots of time for volunteers, so we'll have many people today. Go to your My Student account. Go to Student Partner Speaking. Enable your microphone. So definitely make sure that when the browser says allow this website to use your microphone, yes. If you say no, I can't hear you, okay? Keep the window open, so you'll see a new window, and then keep that window open and then send me a message. You will see my name. My name will be Master, and then you'll see a blue envelope, and just write, I want to volunteer, okay? Let me show you how it goes. So this is our website, aehelp.com. Again, if you want the premium package, one-time payment, not much money at all, click this big red button, the Join Now button. If you want to just try it without paying first, so just then click the green button that's like right behind my head there. And then you have the My Student account. There it is. In your My Student account, you have 3 important buttons on the side here. You've got lots of videos and practice exams, but you got a student partner speaking, you got speaking interview practice, and you can even register for your IDP Ielts exam if you see this button. If you don't see this button, it's not available in your country. Okay. So right now though, okay, for this class, we are looking at this first button. Let me actually bring that down so it's even clearer. So I'm going to keep it right above my head, right there. Student partner speaking. You can use that to find a speaking partner for IELTS, and in this class, you can speak with me. So let's click on that and click I accept start speaking. Okay. All right, and then you will see people in here. So you see lots of people in here. You can see there's you in here, Afzal, Anirban, Nurlita, Sarah, Baljit, Domenico, and Yanni, and more joining. I'm even off my page here. Okay, I'm gonna put on my ears. You'll see me, I'll be master. Okay, and then when you click on the blue envelope, you'll see a master, and then you click on the blue envelope there beside my name, and then you can send me a message. All right. So let's, I promised Baljit to give Baljit a chance, but we'll give everybody a chance. We'll give, well, everybody, I should be careful what I say. We'll give as many people as I can a chance here. All right, Baljit. I'm just going to call you, so if you're there, pick up. I know you're ready. Hi, Baljit.
Hi, sir.
How are you?
I am doing great, sir. What about you?
I'm doing fantastic. Yes, I talked to one of our techs, and they said they were doing an update, and that's why we might have had an issue there, but it's only for a second, so we're all good. Baljit, good news.
Okay.
All right.
Very good news, sir.
Very good news, especially for live classes. Okay, Baljit, so you are in India, right?
Yes, sir, I am.
Which state are you in, Baljit?
I'm in Rajasthan, to be
You're in-
specifically in district of Ganganagar, which is about 15 kilometers from international border of Pakistan.
Wow, you're very close to Pakistan. I'm not big into politics. How easy is it for you to travel to Pakistan?
It's easy because lots of farmers go to Pakistan because they have crops in there, so they usually go. They have to go to cross the border for their crops.
Really? So the farms are like on both in both. That must be very confusing for taxes and things like that.
Yes, I think they basically sell their crops in India.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Interesting.
but
Interesting.
they are always supervised by soldiers from India.
Interesting. Okay. All right. Well, Baljit, let me help you with some English speaking. Let's get into speaking part 3 now, Baljit, and everybody listening. When you're practicing, when you're doing this, again, do your best to connect the information to part 2. Okay, sounds good, Baljit?
Yes, sir.
All right, then let's talk about pollution.
Yeah, sure, sir.
What are the different types of pollution that can be commonly observed in society?
I think apart from water pollution, as we have talked in our previous discussion, like in Kor River of Azerbaijan is contaminated. So I think apart from this, there are like land pollution, air pollution. So these are very detrimental for people's health, and they can't even breathe if there is too much of pollution.
Which of these is the most harmful and why?
Hmm, I think all of these are somehow detrimental, but I think the most problem that cause is air pollution, because people, if they have air pollution in their area, they might find it difficult to breathe, because it can cause some respiratory disease, and people may suffocate from uh, this pollution.
Okay. Good. Okay, so the good and the bad. Okay, Baljeet, your speaking is getting better and better all the time, and your vocabulary base is definitely increasing. So, and not just single words, but you're getting better and better at collocation, so multiple words together that make for more complicated natural language. So that's great to hear. What you really need to focus on, Baljeet, is being concise. So don't repeat information. Short and sweet. Do you ever hear this expression in English? Short and sweet?
Yes, sir. I think I have heard it in
Okay.
movies.
Yeah, so short and sweet, it means to be concise. It's basically an expression that means to be
Yes, sir.
concise. Okay, in the IELTS, you need to be concise. Now, that's a tricky game because it doesn't mean don't talk a lot. You need to give full sentence answers, but you don't want to repeat and you don't want to overspeak. So I said, what are the different types of pollution that can be commonly observed in society? And you said, I think apart from water solution. I really liked this use of language here, the apart from. It's another way to say besides, right? It's a
Yes, sir.
synonym. Very good, very nice, natural. From water solution. And then you said, as we have talked about in our previous discussion, be accurate as I had talked about. Part
Yes,
two, you're the only one talking. I wasn't talking. I was just listening, right? I'm the examiner. So it's not we
yes,
had. If you're referring to part one, like if you were talking about pollution in part one for some reason, then
yes, sir.
it could be as we had, because there it's
Discussion.
question.
Yes,
Yeah, it's more discussion. But part two is just a presentation. So it's more as I had talked in our previous, it's not a discussion, as I had talked in part two or in the previous part.
yes, sir.
Okay, that's more accurate. Accuracy for band 8, band 9 on the IELTS speaking and in the writing, it doesn't have to be the truth, but it has to be accurate. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir. It
Okay.
does.
All right. So, like the Kura River in Azerbaijan. So, I think, and then you said, so I think apart from this, this is the repetition. So, this is the part that you want to kind of take out, right? Because you're just repeating what you already said here. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And the problem in the IELTS is that examiners are not patient. They will not wait for candidates to repeat themselves. It's not like the real world in that way. So when they hear this kind of repetition, then here they interrupt you. Then they just go, okay, well, which one is the, and then you're like, oh, I didn't get to finish that. Okay. And you have some important information here because you said air pollution, for example. Now, you gave me the reason. You said because this is very, I didn't ask you for that, right? So don't give me information that I don't ask for. Okay, so be concise, Baljeet. Right?
Okay.
Just repeat after me. I think apart from water pollution, as I had talked about in the previous part, like the Kura River in Azerbaijan, there's air pollution and land pollution.
Okay. So, um, I think apart from water pollution, as I had talked about in previous part, like the Kura River in Azerbaijan, there is a land pollution and air pollution as well.
Much better. Okay, that will get you a better score. Okay, concise, clear, fluent. Difference between a band 7.5 and a band 8.5. Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right.
I got
So
it.
what I suggest you do, Baljit, because I think I keep giving you the same advice, right? Be concise, right? So what I suggest you do is when you're practicing this at home by yourself or with a partner, record your answers. And when you record your answers, always listen back and then think, okay, how can I say this in a shorter way? And then do a second recording and record the shorter way so that you start to really train your brain into just short, concise information. Okay?
Okay, sir.
All right,
That is
Baljit.
really helpful advice.
Great. Keep it up, Baljit. We'll talk later, okay?
Okay, sir. Sure, sir. Thank you, sir,
Okay,
for
bye,
choosing
Baljit.
me.
Absolutely. All right, that was Baljit from India, near Pakistan. So let's see, we've got some more students in here. Let's go with Anirban's really been giving a great effort. So let's check in with Anirban here. Let me reload the page. By the way, students, if you get this, because our texts are doing some updates, so if you get this WebSocket closed, please try again. You don't need to freak out. All you have to do is hold the shift button, refresh the page, and it should work just fine. So I'm just going to do that right now. Hold the shift button, refresh the page, and bada bing, bada boom, people are back in here. So you just do a shift refresh, it clears out everything that the texts are doing on the back end, and you're good to go. And I can see that, there's already a lot of people volunteering. So try that, okay? All right. There's Anirban. Okay, Anirban says, I'm ready. All right. Okay, Anirban, let me give you a call here.
Hello.
Hi, Anirban.
Hi, Adrian, sir. How are you?
I am doing fantastic. Anirban, really nice responses in last class and in this class as well in the chat. I just want to give you a thumbs up for that. You had some very good use of the English language there, so well done. If I'm judging your writing, it would have been like a band 8, band 9 writing. Okay, so very good.
Thanks a lot.
All right, Anirban, can you tell all of our listeners where you are, or all of our viewers where you are in the world?
Right, sure. So I'm from Kolkata, which is a city in India. It is located on the banks of River Ganga. Almost has a population of 10 million people.
Whoa, that's a lot of people. Okay. All right. Okay, Anirban, well, let's get into some part 3 questions here. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. So let's do this. Why has pollution become a much more serious concern these days than a couple of hundred years ago?
So pollution has been around for centuries. However, it has become more prevalent these days because we can see its effects directly around us. Just like my visit to Kurba River in Azerbaijan, the pollution has wiped out the biodiversity in the area, and also has caused huge damages to the local environment, and also the fishermen have lost their livelihood.
Okay. Let me just reflect on that. Very nice answer. So give me 1 second. That would be a band 8, easy. Okay, easy band 8. And I don't think there's any problem with your English. I think your English was just fine. You just need to think faster to get the band 9. But overall, that was very, very good. So your pronunciation 8, your fluency 8, your vocabulary 9, your grammatical range 9, accuracy 9. So very good. 8.5 easily for sure for that response. You said, so pollution has been around for centuries. Nice. So you're paraphrasing the question there with 100 years. And then you said, but it has become more prevalent. Anirban, good on you for using new words that you're learning right away. I'm sure one of the reasons why your English is so good is because you give a good effort to learn new words, or sorry, you give a good effort to use new words that you learn as quickly as possible. And maybe you knew the word prevalent already, but I was teaching this word earlier, right? And so you thought, hey, I'll use it, right? Become more prevalent.
Yeah, right.
Very smart. It's very, very smart. Okay, that's a big tip for everybody who's watching. As soon as you hear new words in another language, and here in English, use them as quickly as possible in your writing and your speaking. Okay, and then you said, because we can see its effects around us, just like my visit to the Kura River in Azerbaijan, the pollution has wiped out. Yeah, wiped out is a good phrasal verb. Can you tell the viewers what that means, wiped out?
It has, let's say, killed or like eliminated, removed, displaced.
Yeah, nice. Lots of synonyms. Killed, eliminated, removed. Yeah, all of those are correct. Destroyed as well. Yes, very good. Yeah, wipe out means to kill. Completely destroy is... there's another word that comes to mind. It's annihilate.
Yes, right. Annihilate.
Annihilate means to wipe out. Very nice. The flora around the banks. So very good. So that was great. Okay, Anirban, just like that, keep practicing. I mean, that's all there is really to it. To get that band 9, if you really want that band 9, then just keep practicing, keep practicing. What's your goal, Anirban? So what would you like to do with your IELTS score?
So I'm planning to do my master's. I'm currently working, so I'm planning to get my master's done. So from a foreign university, and for that I need the academic IELTS English competency, basically.
Yeah, I mean, my professional opinion, you are ready to sit the exam whenever you'd like. I'm sure that you will get a mark which will be good enough for you to have a nice advantage in your application. So I expect that you will have a very nice overall band score. So yeah, whenever you're ready, go for it. Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to achieve those higher bands because I got Asian parents and they're hard to impress. I need higher bands.
Fair enough. Okay. I have a feeling if you were to sit the exam tomorrow, as long as you stay calm and confident, you'll get a band 8 throughout the exam. So you'll be fine. No problem. Band 8's band 9. So you'll be great. Okay.
Sure. Thanks for the feedback.
All right. Bye, Anirban. All right. Very nice high level of language there. Okay. Let's see who's in here. I'm just going to do a quick shift. Well, maybe I won't. Let's see if it's working properly. All right. Arish. Yeah, I can't. So I got to do a shift refresh. Again, our developers are just adding some new features to the website. So you might have to refresh this page a couple of times, students. So sorry about that, but we'll have everything working smoother later in the day. So just shift refresh and then send me a message, okay? I can tell that. Let's hear a woman's voice. Sarah here from France. Sarah, are you ready? We've got lots of time, so let's do this. Sarah says yes. Thanks for the thumbs up for Anirban, guys.
Hello.
Hi, Sarah. How are you?
I'm good. How about you?
I am doing fantastic. I have a very busy day, but I don't know. I'm just feeling really good. I've been exercising more these days, so I'm feeling really great for that. Do you do any exercise, Sarah? Regular exercise?
Yeah, I do. I'm actually a ballet player, so I have to like stay exercising all the time.
Sorry, did you say ballet dancer?
Yeah.
Okay, not player. You don't play ballet. You
Ah,
dance. You dance ballet. Okay. So you
yeah.
are and there's a more specific word for that. When a person, especially a woman, dances ballet, what are they called in English? What's the person
Um,
noun?
I don't know.
Ballerina,
Ballerina. Oh, it's the same.
as in French, right?
Yeah.
That's honestly because probably the word is French. Okay, so English, English uses a lot of French words, right? Modern day English comes from the combination of Proto-Germanic and French. So a lot of the words in English are. So for you, you have an advantage, Sarah. Sometimes you can just kind of guess the word from French, okay?
I'm happy about this. Actually,
Yeah.
I'm scared of getting words because of the meaning. Sometimes there is like different meaning, so I'm afraid of doing that.
Yeah, that's the dangerous part of it, right? Is like, what if it's not the same word? And then the person's looking at me like, what are you saying? Right? So when people try it and they realize, oh, it's not the same word. So yeah, it's a double-edged sword. I think somebody used that idiom in another context today, but it's a double-edged sword. In one way, you might be right and it'll sound great. In another way, you could be totally wrong and people will look at you like, what did you just say? But for ballet, so if you know that, we call it ballet and ballet dancing, you can probably assume safely that ballerina will be the same as well. Okay. So you are a ballerina, and so you stay fit. I can imagine ballerinas are extremely fit. I hope you're eating well, though. Ballerinas often have very poor diets to try to stay thin. So I hope you're healthy, Sarah, and eating healthy.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, you're like, all right. Well, let's get into part 3. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, let's talk about pollution. How can the problem of pollution be stopped?
The issue of pollution can be stopped if governments worldwide worked harder to put strict rules that punish every and each person who pollute the nature and keep an eye on factories, refuses as well. And individually, we have to start recycling. Years ago, I started doing recycling in my house to help the nature.
Some people say that we do not inherit the earth from our parents, but that we borrow it from our children. Do you agree with this statement? Why or why not?
Absolutely, yeah, I do agree with this statement since we since our affection on the earth reflect to the next generation, as it's clear to us since we are facing pollution due to what our parents have done, as the example that I gave in part 2 in Kora River, where it became that polluted, uh, due now affected by the activities done there by our parents.
Okay. So here's some interesting feedback for you. Your first answer, band 8 to 9. Your second answer, band 6.5 to 7. So, and then of course with the examiner, they will combine all of your answers and give you the score. So what you want to do is you want to stay the same level as your first answer, and you're probably thinking, okay, sure, Adrian, but how, right? So I'll give you some tips for that. Okay. So my question was, how can the problem of pollution be stopped? And you took a second to think. So you didn't answer me right away. All of our viewers probably saw this as well. You took about 3 seconds here. So you were silent for about 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Because you were thinking, what should I say and how should I say it? I could tell. So even though I can't see you,
Exactly.
Yeah, even though I can't see you, just from the way that you pause, we sense this. As humans, we sense this in our communication. So I could sense that you were saying, "What should I say?" I didn't sense you like, "I have no idea." Okay, especially since you already did part one, part two by this point. I can tell that you have, fairly good English. So I know that you're not pausing because you have nothing to say. I know that you're pausing because you're thinking of what to say. You're thinking, what should I say? How should I say it?
Exactly. I was trying to keep like my ideas and the same content of the question and to say it like right. Like I was thinking how to start and how to stay like in the same level, not to go down.
Right. And that was very smart. That's a very good strategy. And you're still considered fluent. If you're thinking for a couple of seconds, it's not a fluency problem. Okay. People think when they speak, so it's totally fine. Fluency problems is if you stop in the middle of the sentence to start thinking about words or grammar. And then you use the question, and you and Anirban and I can't remember, Baljit as well, did a really good job of this. So how can the problem of pollution, right? And then you said the issue of pollution. So you paraphrased it, and that got you even a little bit more time to think. And then you said the issue of pollution can be stopped if governments worldwide put in strict rules to punish anyone who damaged nature or damages nature. And then you said also individuals have to recycle. And then you said years ago I started recycling. I remember it because it was a good answer. Okay, so you gave that personal example. That was very good. And that was a bad 9. It was very clear. Now, the next question was also a tricky question. You tried to answer it a little bit faster, and that got you into a more confusing situation. So you said right away, yeah, absolutely, I agree with this statement. And then you started to say, as it reflects on the next generation, and it felt like you were kind of confusing yourself. And you did one very smart step. You thought, okay, this is starting to get confusing, so I'm going to use an example. And then you said the example I gave about the Kura River. Okay, now here, keep your thoughts simple, Sarah. So the example I gave about the Kura River, my generation inherited the garbage from our parents' generation. Okay, so
yeah,
simple. Just simple. You don't have to paraphrase every word. You don't have to overcomplicate every sentence. So my generation inherited the garbage created by my parents' generation. And certainly, if we don't clean this up now, it will be an even bigger problem for future generations. Okay, so just like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so simple. Okay, so for everybody out there, just repeat this after me. Absolutely, yeah, I agree with this statement as our actions reflect on the next generation. Like the example I gave about the Kura River. My generation inherited the garbage created by my parents. And certainly, if we don't clean it up now, it will be a bigger problem for future generations. Go for it.
Absolutely, yeah, I agree with this statement as our oh, just a sec. Oh,
It's coming.
can I repeat it?
Mm-hmm.
Can I repeat it?
Start again.
Yes, thank you. So yes, I do agree with the statement that we do not inherit the earth from our parents, but we borrow it. To our children. I'm sorry, it's not.
It's okay.
covered.
Just start again with the answer. So I've made the corrections now, and just start again from there. It's actions reflect. That's where you're getting stuck. Our actions reflect on the next generation. So go ahead from the top.
Absolutely, yeah, I agree with this statement as our action reflect on the next generation. Like the example I gave about Kura River, my generation inherited the garbage created by my parents' generation. And certainly, if we don't clean this up now, it will be an even bigger problem for future generations.
That's your band 9. It takes practice, and sometimes the questions, they're tough, especially when you have good English. The examiner will ask you more and more difficult questions. It's a progressive exam, so they become more and more difficult. Okay, Sarah, keep up the good practice, okay, and find consistency. That will come with practice, okay?
Thank you. Yes.
Okay, bye for now, Sarah.
Have a great day.
Thank you. Goodbye. Okay, everybody, give Sarah a thumbs up. I'm going to do another shift refresh here. I think my WebSocket keeps closing, and then ping me again. So I just refreshed the page again. Sorry about that, guys. It's just the upgrades that we're doing to all of our systems right now. You're going to have to refresh this page a little bit. John, you're being super consistent here, so I'm going to see how you are. Let's see, can you reach out to me? So are you ready, John? Let's do this. Okay. Thanks for the support, everyone. Baljeet, Juliana, Fam, Mohammed, very nice. Yes, great support. Again, students, you might just have to refresh the page sometimes to get this going, because we're doing upgrades to the websites in our apps today. It's working, but you might have to refresh. Okay. Making our products better and better all the time. Hi, John.
How are you doing, sir?
I am doing fantastic. John, is that your English nickname or your actual name? Or
it's my English name.
Is it a translated name? Like, would it be John in your original language or your native language?
No, it's different actually.
Oh, so it's completely made up.
I go by this. Yeah.
What's your official name? May I ask?
Yeah, sure. It is Sardor.
Sardor.
Yes.
Okay, got it. All right, that's great. Beautiful name.
Thanks.
Yeah, I have Hungarian roots, and there's a Hungarian named Sándor, so it sounds like that name for me.
My original name's meaning like a leader.
Leader.
The definition is like, yeah.
Okay, great. Why did you pick John?
It's just I go by this one. If I have some, English conversation with somebody, it's just more convenient for them to, reach out to me.
It's considered the most common name in English, right? That's why John Smith, the anonymous. So, all right. Okay, and sorry, you are in Uzbekistan?
Yes, I am.
All right. Okay, yeah, I do know that Shardor is a common name in Uzbekistan. So, all right, and I think you've told me that in the past. But here we go. Are you ready for a little bit of part 3?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, let's talk about saving the environment.
Okay.
What kinds of technology have been developed to help restore the health of the environment?
Well, there have been like many of the technological devices that have been created in order to restore the balance for the surroundings. First and foremost, I would mention water purification devices that are already being used in the sea, rivers. Those are, just purify the water and make them more usable for the public or just for agriculture and harvesting. Apart from that, there are also like the devices in order to...
Which of these should be paid the most attention to for the betterment of Earth? Sorry, somebody's trying to call me. Just give me 1 second here. That's happening.
Okay.
Just a sec. Let me try that again. Again, it's the system updates. Let me just ask you that question. Don't call me, students. Not when I'm in a call. Okay, John, here we go. Which of these should be paid the most attention to for the betterment of the Earth?
I think we have to pay more attention to the water purification devices, because water is like the most important, key feature of the Earth that helps to restore the balance throughout the world. So and we need it for harvesting and for drinking. So I think water purification technology, it has to be paid more attention, obviously.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. All right. I interrupted you on that first answer. Too long.
Yeah, I get
too
it.
lengthy. Yeah, you're digressing. You're digressing too much. You're over explaining, overthinking. You have good English. You have great English. Kind of like Baljeet, the same type of scenario where both of you have really good English. Different accents. He speaks with the Indian accent. You speak with a bit of an Uzbek accent. But just ignore the call. Hopefully it'll stop. Somebody stop calling me. Just a sec. I'm going to close it there. Okay, I'll restart it once I finish my response to you. Okay, so same advice as to Baljeet. Just really focus on being more concise. Now, one part that I really appreciated is that you did say have been developed. And you said have been created. Okay, so use the have been and then created. Now, really important. Sorry, are you still there, John? Actually, yeah, that was my bad. I just totally closed it on you, John. I know you're still listening, but I forgot that if I close it, I'm going to close it on you as well. So that was my bad. Can you join in on the student speaking page again? I just opened it up. Yeah, I can see that, John. I see it in the chat. Okay, let me call you back here. All right. Hi, John. Yeah, I closed it on you. That was my bad. And I'm like, I'll stop people from calling me. Well, I stopped you from hearing me as well. Okay, so again, good job with the grammar. Okay, have been created, passive form of the present perfect. You use the passive form of the present perfect. And then you said water purification devices are already being used in the sea and rivers. And then you started to explain about the water purification devices, but you don't need to because it's in the name, water purification, right?
Yeah, actually.
So the question is asking kinds of technology. And you really, and this is for everybody, so everybody who's watching, really pay attention when the question is plural, okay? So when they're asking for more than one, you should concentrate on more than one because the next question might be like this one. Which of these should be paid most attention to? And combining this with a little bit of the advice with Sarah, because it's part 3, right? So you have to think. It's a thinking kind of part of the speaking. So water purification is one type of technology, but we have lots of different types of technology for the environment now. You have to be able to think of a couple. John, what are some other types of technology that are developed keeping in mind the environment?
Can we mention about electricity, engines, because they are not requiring gas or oil?
Yeah, absolutely. So electric vehicles.
Yeah, exactly.
Even if they create some pollution, because all energy use creates pollution, it's not as direct for air pollution, right? So you can say electric vehicles reduce air pollution. What's another one?
Furthermore, let me think.
There's lots. Just think about your house. I'm sure you have some around your house as well. Keep it simple. LED lights.
Oh.
Much more energy efficient,
yeah.
right? So think about all those energy efficient items. Rechargeable batteries.
Oh yeah, this one.
Okay, compost bags, right? So there's tons, right? Reusable bags.
Yep.
So I don't want to keep talking your ears off, but there's tons, right? So whenever the IELTS question is asking for multiple answers, it's usually a question where the multiple answers should not be too difficult. So just clear your mind, think about yourself, think about, what you see in movies, what you have in your house, what you see in the stores, and you should be able to come up with at least 2-3 quick ones, right?
I thought I have to also be more specific and give them a little bit of description. So that's why I just went by with this water purification devices.
You do, but it's when it's asking for plurals, it's more important to mention several different answers than it is to answer just one and give details. Okay? So, and
Yeah.
this, and I hope everybody's hearing this, because this isn't just a mistake from John. This is a very common mistake on the IELTS exam by candidates. They ask for a plural and then they get a singular, and it makes for an awkward conversation, especially if there's a follow-up. So here, now we can say, okay, so just repeat after me, John. I'm going to say this and then repeat, okay? So what kinds of technology have been developed to help restore the health of the environment? There have been many technological devices created in order to restore the surroundings. Water purification devices already used in the sea and rivers, electric vehicles to reduce air pollution, LED lights and rechargeable batteries for better use of power, and compostable bags. Go for it, John.
Okay. There have been many technological devices created in order to restore the surroundings. Water purification devices that are already being used in the sea and rivers, electric vehicles reduce air pollution, LED lights, rechargeable batteries that are much more efficient, and compost bags and reusable bags as well.
Which of these should be paid most attention to for the betterment of the earth?
In my point of view, we should pay more attention to the electrical devices. I mean, more electric vehicles, because throughout the world, tons of people are nowadays using like gasoline cars, and this causes a lot of pollution to the air, and that we are breathing. So I think we have to use more of electric vehicles in order to reduce the pollution
Don't repeat
to the
yourself.
air.
Don't repeat yourself, right? So as soon as you feel like you're repeating yourself, you have two choices. One, stop talking. Okay, because otherwise you're going to get interrupted. So one is to stop talking. Plus, if you're repeating yourself, you're using the interview time that the examiner could use to ask you another question. So even if the examiner, so this is where some students are like, oh yeah, it's so rude when the examiner interrupts me in the IELTS. But yeah, if the examiner doesn't interrupt you, it's still bad, because you're using up time from other questions where you can get more points, right? So
Yeah.
repeating is just bad no matter which way you look at it, right? So you have two options. One, stop talking, or two, as soon as you're about to repeat yourself, what should you do, John?
Well, I should mention another idea, maybe.
Or just give an example, right?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
you could say, in Nur Sultan, there are a lot of new Teslas now and the air is getting better, right?
Oh yeah, exactly.
Okay, so cut to that example. More detail, more points, more vocabulary, more grammar, you get points. Repetition, you lose points, right? So careful. Okay, John, thank you for helping me show those important points, and keep practicing the advice that I just gave you, okay?
Yeah. By the way, what band score would you put me for my first response?
For the original response, right?
Yeah.
The original response would be about a band 7, and you're losing most of your marks on coherence because you're not giving me an accurate answer. You're not giving me multiple answers when I'm asking you for multiple answers, right? So 6, 5, 7. But your actual English is better than that, so you have to really pay attention to that coherence, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Bye, John. Thank you.
Goodbye.
All right, that was John from Uzbekistan. And again, I just did a shift refresher, girls and ladies and gentlemen, I should say. It's just, again, we're doing a lot of upgrades to our system. So while it's all kind of resetting in the great world of the internet, you just have to do some shift refreshing on this on the page right now. Okay. All right. No, I don't. Ritik, I wish. I did not have any shares in Tesla. My younger brother, though, he bought some shares, so he did a good job of that. Let's hear a new voice. I don't think we've ever spoken to Pargat, so let's see if Pargat is around. Pargat, are you there? We'll see if Pargat is with us. We can connect. Please don't call me. Just text me, message me. Okay. Pargat says yes. Hello, Pargat.
Hello, sir.
How are you?
I'm fine. What about you, sir?
I'm doing good. Pargat, you sound quiet, like you're either very far from your microphone or your microphone is turned down. So can you get a little bit closer to the mic or turn up the volume?
Okay, sir. Am I audible now?
Way more, much more. It's like you just cranked it. Way better. Okay. Pargat,
Okay.
where are you?
Actually, I'm from India. I belong to state Punjab, which is in the northern part of India.
Okay, you're in the state of Punjab. Awesome. Which city?
Actually, I belong to Ropar city, which is quite historical city. It has a historical background, like uh, Harappan civilization. Remains of Harappan civilization were found here, and there is
Cool.
a museum where they are kept right now.
Yeah, I know that Punjab is very rich in history. That's where the Golden Temple is as well, if
Yeah.
I'm not mistaken. Great. And Pargat, why are you doing the IELTS exam?
Actually, I want to move to abroad. I want to. I have applied for PR. Actually, I want to boost my scores. That's why I'm reappearing in examination.
Okay,
In
cool.
my first attempt, I just got like 7 bands in speaking, but I want to improve more.
Got it. Well, I will do my best to assist you. All
Sure.
right, here we go. I'm going to ask you a question. Give me a nice full sentence answer. Are you ready?
All right, sir.
All
Sure.
right, so still talking about helping to protect or saving the environment, I should say.
Okay.
How can people be encouraged further to recycle more and not just carelessly throw away plastic and paper?
Actually, I think government can play a vital role in stopping the people from throwing away the waste. They could create some kind of rules in so that um, the people could be like punished or should be penalized. For example, the government of Punjab has just created a rule. They have banned the use of plastic here. People are now using recyclable bags.
And they gave you a 7?
Yeah.
Who was that examiner?
Actually,
All right.
she was from India, I think so. I don't. I was also shocked when I got that marks.
I think you're at least a 7.5. So 7 is maybe she had a bad day. Her coffee was not tasting
Okay.
good that morning. Okay. No, I respect all the examiners, and you never know. Sometimes that just happens. Sometimes it's just, Did you do an ROI? So did you ask them, or sorry, as an ROE, request of remarking? Did you request them to remark your score, your IELTS score?
Actually, I thought that there would be some kind of error in my answering, so that's why I didn't do it
Okay.
as such.
All right. Well, okay. So it sounds like you're okay. So you're going to do the IELTS exam again, obviously. I
Yeah.
honestly think you should get a higher mark. So I've examined a lot of people and I've talked to a lot of people. I've talked to more IELTS candidates than most examiners around the world, and I can tell you with confidence that 7 is a very low end score for you. So if 10
Okay.
examiners sat in my chair, maybe just one of them would give you a band 7, and it sounds like you unfortunately got that 1 out of 10 examiners that just had a bad day or something went wrong. I don't know, or maybe your part 2 was to be fair, I only asked you one question, but based on
Yeah.
this one question, yeah, 7's a low score. Maybe your part 2,
Okay.
I don't know, maybe your part 2 was way off. I think your
I
answer
think
was
so.
quite good. I think here it was quite good. You said, actually, I think there's small mistakes. You said, like, I think government, I think the governments are usually unique.
All right.
So I think the government can play a vital role. So you have some missing articles, but that's no reason to give you a 7. So I think the government can play a vital role in stopping people from throwing away waste. they can create a rule to punish or penalize. That was good. In the state of Punjab, they stopped the use of
Plastic.
the use of plastic. Okay, and you might give a little bit more. This has definitely helped to have a cleaner environment.
Okay.
Okay, but overall quite good. Okay, so my suggestion is this. Keep practicing, keep doing what you're doing. Your strategy was good. You gave me an answer, you gave me an explanation, you gave me an example. It was good, it was solid. I think, for this one question, you deserve even a band 8. If you get the same score, a band 7, the next time you do the IELTS, then you really have to think, where is my mistake? Why is this happening? Why did 2 different examiners give me the same score? I have a feeling you will get a higher score. Now, one way, and it might be a cheaper solution for you, and this is really not a sales pitch for you, but on the website here, and this is the exact reason that we've created this. On the website, underneath the student partner speaking, there's a speaking interview practice button. You can book a 30-minute session with me. I know it's expensive, especially for people in India, because it's $25 US, but it's still a lot cheaper than the IELTS exam. So you could book a full speaking interview where I basically sit down for 30 minutes through Zoom, and we do like a full interview from start to finish. I record it for you so you can even watch it again after, and then I can tell you exactly what's happening for every question in part 1, part 2, part 3 based on the marking criteria. And then you might discover that, okay, yeah, part 2 is way off, or something's happening that's not letting you have that higher score. And if I say, hey, no way, that was a band 8, then at least you can go into your next exam and be like, okay, yeah, there was just something wrong with the examiner, not me, right? So, okay. All right. So that's my suggestion. I think that's, for your goal, that's my advice. How did you do in the other parts of the exam?
Actually, I scored pretty well, and I scored 8 bands in listening and in the reading as well. In writing, I got 7. Actually, there is a myth in India that you can't score above 7 if you are giving a general examination. So I was appearing in a general examination. So that's why I got, I think so, 7. I don't know what is in my writing. I think I write like too complicated, I think so.
Nah,
But
the
I try
writing
to
is
add.
the writing is a whole nother topic, so I'm not even getting into it, but writing is historically the lowest score for most candidates. However, knowing that you got a band 8 in listening, a band 8 in reading, and a band 7 in writing, that tells me even more so that you should be getting a higher score in speaking, because usually when candidates have such high scores in the listening, reading, writing, in most cases their speaking will be at least as good as their higher scores, or even better. So it'll be like an 8, 8.5. So that's why that shows me even more that your speaking is probably not accurate. Okay. All right.
I think the main problem was, like, I just practiced for around 30 days and then gave the paper. I thought that was a little less rehearsed.
Yeah, still,
Or something like that.
any way that I look at it, and listening to you speak and listening to you converse with me, 7 seems low for me for your speaking. But again, use that button that's there in the website. We can discover a little bit more about what's going on, and if you decide not to, that's fine too, but I think you'll get a better score on your next exam. So thanks so much for volunteering and for sharing your voice with us, Pargat. I hope you have an awesome rest of your day in Punjab.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay. Bye, Pargat. All right, that was Pargat. Thumbs up. He was great. Students, I'm kind of running out of time, and I'm doing a big video shoot here today as well. So I'm going to stop there. But, that's all the advice and practice I have for you today, but I will have more coming up next week. So we've got lots of classes next week, including a Lighthall class that's free. That's on Lighthall. That's using a different interface. It's a new and exciting online live teaching platform designed for live teaching. So certainly check that out. We've got, here's the Lighthall link. I'll put that into the chat. Okay. Let me just get that in there for you. So you can check that out there. Also check out our newest speaking video. It's pretty cool. Okay. There, I'll put that into the chat as well. Great job to all of our volunteers for today. I hope that everybody has a fantastic rest of the week, and I hope that you definitely do check out our websites, aehelp.com for academic IELTS and gieltshelp.com for general IELTS. We've got a ton of content and tools there for you to improve your English and your communication. Fuang, thank you for the hearts. You're very, very welcome. Kerline, I love the little dancing guy emoji. So, Panu, if you're having trouble making any payments on the website, you can always send me an email. Okay, all right. Or if you're having trouble making payments with the yellow button, let me know. Okay. All right, students. Like I said, have a great weekend. Much love to all of you. You're all smart, brilliant people. Stay confident, be you, and push forward. I'm Adrian. I'm signing out from Victoria, Canada for now, but I will be back here to see you starting next week, Thursday at this time. Bye for now.